Hi, my name is Lance Capel. This is Grand Canyon University. This class is EDU-534, and this topic is building relationships. Building relationships between the instructor and students. First, we're going to get into explaining the importance of building trusting relationships between instructor and student in higher education. First, improving students' relationships with teachers cannot be emphasized enough. This has important positive and long-lasting implications for both students and academic and social development. Whether the learning is in person, virtual, or remote, the relationship between the student and instructor remains a constant factor. In this video, on building relationships, we will discuss the importance of building relationships between the instructor and higher education, identifying learner needs, best practices for building rapport, addressing student diverse viewpoints, and applying a Christian worldview. The instructor-student relationship is a positive relationship between the student and teacher built on trust and respect for each other. I believe the more self-motivated a student is as they learn to read, the better prepared they'll be to reach their potential. This involves knowing your students in depth, providing them freedom of choice, motivating them to become strong leaders. By doing so, the teacher demonstrates respect to their learners, valuing their individuality and politeness. Therefore, building a trusting relationships is essential because it creates a conducive learning environment. The American Psychological Association argues that teachers who develop relationships with their learners can create a more conducive environment for learning and address students' emotional, academic, and developmental needs. Students who express a strong connection with their teachers engage the teachers often and receive constructive guidance and encouragement can trust their instructor and be more engaged in learning. Also, trusting relationships help produce better grades. Students become more engaged in their academics and improve performance. They're more disciplined and have low school dropout rates. Next thing I want to get into is the best practices for building relationships and rapport with learners in your classes. At the beginning of the year or the semester, I'd have the students discuss any expectations and the students' expectations as a class. Storytelling can help build teacher-student relationships. Also, knowing my students by name, thanking them by name, listening to students attentively means taking the time to ask and hear students, their opinions, noting their interest, and understanding each student's learning style. Being fair and respectful to students. Ensuring I don't have favorites in the classroom. Paying attention to students during class allows them to talk, give positive affirmations, and constructive criticisms. Next, we're going to discuss how you will learn the needs and interests of adult learners. For me, understanding adult learners' needs and interests are vital in delivering high-quality instruction. Some ways to do this include student evaluations, active learning, communicating expectations, and managing time. Next, we're going to talk about active learning. This is done by engaging in meaningful learning activities, asking stimulating questions, and incorporating real-life examples in learning. Communicating expectations. It's important for the instructor to ask adult learners about their expectations while they're in the classroom. Managing time. As adult learners, they're more constrained by their time due to their responsibilities. A lot of adult learners are parents, have spouses at home, just respecting their time. punctuality, in starting and ending the class on time. Last, we're going to discuss other ways I plan to understand students' needs, including respecting learning and experiences, providing them with freedom, and offering constructive feedback on assignments and questions. Explain how I will address students' viewpoints that differ from my own. One of the things to consider when addressing diverse viewpoints is being mindful. It means sharing my perspective without confronting their perspectives. It involves demonstrating empathy when explaining my perspective and responding to different ones. Addressing different viewpoints can be challenging, especially when balancing between not saying the wrong things and disagreeing with the perspective. The inability to respond appropriately to diverse views can create a negative learning environment. Also respecting differences, exhibiting tolerance while focusing on strengths instead of shortcomings, and finding solutions rather than issues are critical and crucial ways of addressing viewpoints. It presents opportunities for collaborating towards a common objective. Describe how you can apply the Christian worldview by supporting culture and diversity in your classroom. So lastly here, applying a Christian worldview is important, but it can be a major challenge. One of the ways I would do it is by integrating biblical principles that align with the course. This would be a powerful tool to help students grow spiritually and academically, which is the purpose of all the students. Another technique I would use in the classroom is devotional talks to guide and encourage students into a Christian worldview. The talks help prevent students from feeling overwhelmed and resenting the Christian perspective. And again, I'm Lance Capel. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you.